Hello, Twitch. It is Friday afternoon, and my meeting took a little bit longer than I expected. Which is perfectly okay, because, well, here I am. I'm back up. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon, local time. I've got about an hour here, maybe about an hour and a half. Was doing that, and then I was doing some demolition work on our master bathroom, which we'll start doing some work there. I was looking around. I almost bought the Embraer series of E-Jets, the E135, 145 series, but I decided against it. I already own a Dash 8 series from Virtual Cool. You can see Virtual Cool, or however they're pronounced, which, I mean, as far as cockpit goes, it's not the most sophisticated, but for $22 or whatever I paid for it, it was the 100, 200, 300, and 400, so it gives a lot of options for $22. I mean, it's no Majestic Q400, but for my needs, it does just fine for FsPassengers and FsEconomy. We're going to be back in FsEconomy here. And we're going to go ahead and take the $16,000 assignment. It's 38 passengers to somewhere in Michigan. 338 nautical miles. And we are going to rent a DC-6. We're going to go completely retro this afternoon. I don't know if folks have joined in yet. Nope, not yet. See other folks come in, but it's kind of interesting. I never expected actually to see 4 or 5 people joining in the chat and on the Twitch stream, to be honest with you. I mean, I just started Monday and already got a couple of regulars, and folks have been back a couple times recognizing some familiar names. That's always fun. It makes a little bit more... I mean, I enjoy flight simming, even if it is just me, myself, and I. But having people watching it, and I just think that's fascinating this day and age. We may have to go down to Dexter and fly all the way down there. There's an airplane down in Dexter that I'm really itching to fly. At least there was. Let's see if it's still there. Yeah, the Avanti is still there. In X-plane. Probably do that. But we need to look at switching out our aircraft here to... Here we go. I have a lot of Dash 8s. Boeing, oh, no. This wouldn't be Boeing. It'd be Douglas. Dark. Derpity derp. DC, Douglas Aircraft Company. We have a bunch of different liveries. Let's go with JBK. DC-6, an interesting aircraft. Certainly an oldie, but goodie. It was probably one of the first very successful 4-engine passenger liners at post-Cold War, or post-World War II era. Was meant to compete with the Lockheed Constellation. Was a very successful plane for Douglas overall. And to this day, there's still a few of them flying, including, I think, a couple up in Alaska. And then Red Bull purchased one. It used to be like the former aircraft of like Charles Taylor of Liberia or something, and put Red Bull livery on it. So there's a DC-6 that flies around with Red Bull colors and stuff. No, we're going to be taking off from Kirk. This is going to be a very, very, very interesting flight. So that's where we're going to be taking off. And we're going to go ahead and take off at the active runway. Else, I'm not sure I could line that aircraft up. User-defined weather. It's 1400. Close enough. Alright, flight planner. We're going to go from Kirk to my flights. Ooh, 696 gallons. We going to need to go ahead and refuel this. Now this is going to be interesting. How much air? 1,800 gallons available. I think we better go ahead and put all 1,800 gallons. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and refuel. So now we're at 33%. 300 nautical miles. I think we should be good as far as range goes. I've not flown this aircraft extensively. The reason why I have a DC-6, now this is a freeware DC-6 cockpit that we're going to be flying in today. It is not the one from, I think, Just Flight, or is it Wilco? There is a commercial payware out there. So 1,300 an hour dry. 38 passengers. We should be fine. 54 passengers. We're at 33% fuel, so we have plenty of room. But at any rate, this was the only aircraft in the area that could haul about 10,000 kilograms per trip up to Kirksville from where I was buying building supplies at. And it was available down at West Plains. So this aircraft has cost me a lot of money, unfortunately. You can kind of see through here as I was refueling and doing stuff. Alright, so... Alright, where am I flying to? Flying somewhere KMKG. And we're going to be going to Muskegon, Michigan. Nav, estimated fuel burn 758 gallons. I don't know how accurate that's going to be. Estimated time en route about 90 minutes, so we'll probably have to use some time acceleration, which is fine. But estimated fuel burn is going to be 700, and we have about 1,800 gallons on board. Alright, so we're going to need more than was here, and we got about double what it's saying that we should need, so hopefully we should be good there. Alright, so we're going to be going to there on the hand of Michigan. So we'll be flying over water, altitude 5,500 feet. I don't know. I believe this has a pressurized cabin, so we're going to go ahead and do a cruising altitude of 15,000 feet. Yes, we're going to go ahead and save. No, hold on. You know what? I think I want to make this an IFR, High Altitude Airways. Find route, 19,000 feet. So this is going to be a route. We'll just watch on the time acceleration. See here, hour. I may be able to do this near real time. IFR to Kirksville. Do you want Flight Simulator to move your aircraft to the... Sure. Alright, we are good to go. This may be loud. If anybody's actually watching the stream, I do have my chat window up on my iPad here. So, if anybody actually is watching, let me know. ATC menu. already not boding well. GPS. So again, freeware cockpit. Not super great, but not horrible either in terms of detail and how things are textured and look. If I have one suggestion to make to freeware cockpit designers and stuff, try using just a little bit more high-res textures for some of this general materials. You'd be surprised at how just a little bit there can go a very, very long way. Alright, so we got our 2 fuel tanks here. So oh. This is a very loud airplane. Alright, so we're going to tune to Columbia. I did turn the sound back on. Read back. I might be turning the sound on and off when I need to talk. This plane is very noisy. Let me know what it's like on the live stream. Alright, so we've got our clearance. We're going to select a runway for takeoff. I think we're runway 3. Yep, we are on runway 36. So, runway 36. We are going to be departing to the north. And mixture of new and old here. Alright, time to turn on the volume and see here, where are my flaps? There's landing gear. Not all the way down. About halfway down. Rev up the engines and sound. Here we go. You're going to need every inch. Great, you lumbering beast. Off the ground. See if I remember how to use the autopilot on this aircraft. Carburetor air. Alright, we have instructions to maintain flight, or climb to flight level 190. So we have instructions to go to flight level 190. We're going to do so here. Again, I don't know about all the details of flying this aircraft. So mainly 2D switches, you know, again, not side air temperature 10 degrees falling. So the year is 2015, and Old American Airlines livery, flagship New York, is going to Michigan from Kirksville, Missouri. We're going to have to reset. I forgot to load. Oops. I forgot to load the flight in FsEconomy. Oh, I'm glad I figured this out 5 minutes into the flight and not an hour and a half into the flight. Then I may have been mad. Okay, FsEconomy, action, start flight. Alright. Attempt number 2. Loud plane is loud. Alright, tune to Columbia Radio. Request IFR clearance. Columbia Radio, America 701 IFR to Muskegon, ready to copy. I'll read back. American 701, cleared to Muskegon Airport as filed. Climb and maintain 6000. Departure is 132.6, squawk 0210. Clearance void 30 minutes from now. Turn to Kirk traffic. Select runway for takeoff, runway 36. We're going to be departing north. Kilo, India, Romeo, Kilo, traffic, American 701, taking off runway 36, departure to the north. With that, we are going to set our flaps down to about 20 degrees, maybe even a little bit more than that. This plane is very much a lumbering beast. I have the sound off right now because it is a very noisy aircraft. A couple other things I need to do. Options, go to views. But hey, we still got modern conveniences. As such, so we're going to go ahead and switch our navigation to once we're airborne, I guess we got to actually activate the autopilot. Alright, so we've got our flaps deployed here. Time to activate the brakes. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the sound. Let me know if it's completely busting your eardrums. Wow, it's kind of quiet. All right. We are rolling. The lumbering beast gets airborne. Whew. We are airborne. The beast, she flies. Now this is a freeware DC-6. Kansas City, America 701 is climbing through 1400 for 6,000. 29906. Turn left heading 320, proceed on course. Turning left 320, resume on navigation, climb and maintain 6,000, American 701. And we are going to go back up to views. GPS. Pretty climbs nearly 2,000 feet per minute. 180 knots. What's our current pitch? 7 degrees. 6 degrees. This is the town of Kirksville proper, and it is home to... Silence the engines about. It is home to Truman State University, which is one part of the University of Missouri system. It's kind of the state school that was modeled after a private liberal arts college, more or less. What they basically get the same level of education without the private liberal arts college prices. It's also home to a DO school, a Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine. All right. We just got a call here. American 701, or climb and maintain 17,000. American 170, or 701. I can read well. I can read real good. Blah blah blah. All right. And I believe the service ceiling for this aircraft is 25,000 feet. We're going to be taking her up to 19,000 today. I'm going to assume that the cabin automatically pressurizes, depressurizes. None of that is really modeled all that well. Make sure that we get onto course here, and that we are switched to GPS, so we should be following our GPS navigation. there was somewhere that would give us the entire ETA, or rather ETE, for the entire trip remaining. Guess not. Just to the next destination, 4 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and request an altitude decrease. Kansas City Center, American 701, request 13,000. Climb and maintain 13,000. Climb and maintain 13,000. American 701. I'm going to take it that I need to trim the aircraft out. Request 10,000. Probably going to say no. Send and maintain 10,000. Okay. All right. Just a little bit more. Altitude hold on. 10,050 feet. That should be close enough to make ATC happy. Sure, manifold pressure isn't over. RPM is a little bit high still. Everything else is looking good. We're cruising at around 160 knots. Fuel flow is not what I would deem to be horrible. And hopefully we are still pretty much on course. Looks like we are. Now for some beauty shots. everything's looking good, so... Knowledge handoff. Kansas City Center, American 7101 with you. Altimeter 2998. Okay. So we're going to be at 4x. Still very, very loud. Wait, is that Leslie Nielsen and the blow-up doll from Airplane? That's not Leslie Nielsen. I think that is the blow-up autopilot from Airplane, though. There on the left. Oh, that's hilarious. It's about 140 knots. Not super fast. Autopilot? GPS. Ground speed of 158 knots. Keck, is that Kirk, Iowa? Probably is. Now I do load real-time weather. I use WSXWX, which is a freeware weather engine. I am aware that there are better ones out there that people prefer. But, yeah, here we go. Flying with the DC-6. So 800 pounds an hour. GPS, where you should be right there at the next nav. 28 minutes to our next navigation point, BDF. Lots of clouds out today. It's kind of a cloudy, stormy day. Although I'm looking outside right now in St. Louis, and my goodness, there's a really big bug with big mandibles on the screen right now. Contact Chicago Center, knowledge handoff. Chicago Center, American 701 with you. 2996. So we've hounded off to Chicago Center for air traffic control. At about 180 knots. Again, we kind of want to go as fast as we can here and still have fuel, because I think fuel quantity is a much less and much cheaper, even though it takes a massive amount of fuel to fuel this thing. I still think it's much more expensive. Ooh, tell people to well, I guess they don't have to fasten their safety belt right now. Quad City approach. Quad City approach. American 701 with you. So this flight should take about 20 minutes grand total at 4x. I dare not go any faster with using an IFR flight plan, else, yeah, I can't hit the button fast enough, and it'll be like, oh, well, we're rejecting your IFR. Please refile. And the air traffic controllers get really mean whenever that happens. No. How do I close? That's what our aircraft looks like. Hey, look, we're doing picture-in-picture. Close window? Close window. So we're cruising through the air 10,000 feet, more or less. On this a very cloudy day. And we should have enough fuel to do a go around as well. That can be very important with an aircraft like this because you pretty much have to line it up. Here's the moon. So right now we have a ground speed of 219 knots, so indicated airspeed of 185, maybe 190 knots. So we have a pretty good tailwind right now. That's certainly helping us go. Douglas. Interestingly enough, my dad worked on the Douglas merger back when McDonnell Aircraft bought Douglas in 67, 68. Acknowledge the handoff. Chicago Center, American 701 with you. 2996. This aircraft was used a lot for transcontinental flights in the United States domestically as well as abroad. And a handful of them are still left in service today. The Douglas DC-6. Oh, we're paused. Hold on a second. Yes, here we are. Buffalo Airways, based in Yellowknife, Canada. UK for private charter. The Red Bull one in Salzburg. Nambia Commercial. Last DC-6. And the last one still flying commercially. Used as freighters or water bombers in Canada. Operates 8 DC-6s. Everett's Air Cargo. So, still 47 of them airworthy, and one still in commercial service, even in 2000 in Nambia. Acknowledge handoff. Chicago approach. Chicago approach, American 701 with you, 10,100. 2996. Gonna declutter we're about 200 knots now. 237. As I said, we have a heck of a tailwind. 100, 238. Oh, so that's how that goes, 320. So about 330 knots is when this aircraft falls apart. Good to know. Again, the faster we can go, the better off we are, because it's going to cost more per hour to rent the aircraft than it is to actually keep it fueled. So that's a good thing. Alright, waypoint reached. Autopilot is turning us. Level out here. Oh, and there we are, passing between the clouds at the nearest airport, wherever that happens to be. I wish there was a hotkey for GPS. Kind of going to be bordering a couple different states here, and then we're going to basically make a turn here, and then we're going to be over Lake Michigan, although given the cloud cover today, I doubt we'll see very much of Lake Michigan. Chicago approach, American 701 with you. Two 997. All right. $245 knots. I keep closing the ATC menu because then it'll pop up whenever I need to be contacted, and since I'm not running with sound right now, this is why. It's very, very, very loud. Alright, we shall be passing over Lake Michigan. However, all we're going to see today is clouds, clouds, and more clouds. Such is life. Wow. Alright, retuning to Chicago approach. Chicago approach, American 701 with you, 10,100. One twos, 35 American Chicago Center. All right. Getting ready to go over Lake Michigan. Or I should say we are over Lake Michigan right now. But we're kind of clouded in. Oh, no we're not. Hey, we're kind of somewhat below the clouds. Acknowledging the handoff. Chicago Center, American 701 with you, 10,100. All right. Back into clouds. Acknowledge vector. Hold on. Options, simulation rate normal. We are 60 miles. Turn right heading. Acknowledge assigned approach. And views, instrument panel, GPS. Expect vectors, runway 6 approach. Procedures, select approach. Please expedite our turn to... There we go. Alright, so heading 090. Expediting turn. I thought we were, but I guess not. So they're going to want us to fly into a visual approach. This ought to be interesting. You know, at some point here, we're going to get a request to begin our descent. Frankly, in an aircraft this large, I would have preferred to start my descent already. But we'll wait and get proper instructions from ATC. Knowledge, turning left, 060. American 701. Now I hope we don't overshoot the runway dramatically. Going to 128.5, American 701. Chicago Center, American 701 with you, 10,100. -5 degrees. Descend and maintain 5,000 American 701. So here we have a ground speed of about 230 knots. Turn left heading 030 degrees. Turn left heading 030 American 701. Acknowledging handoff at 119.8 for American 701. Muskegon approach, American 701 is out 7,100 for 5,000. Turning right, heading 065 degrees, American 701. Close enough. Turn left heading 303. Turning left heading 0. American 701. Turn left heading 037 American 701. Turn left heading 005. Turn left heading 335. Acknowledge. Turning left 335. Turn left heading 335, American 701. Descend and maintain 2600. Descend and maintain 2600, American 701. Turn right, heading 005. Turn right, heading 005, American 701. Wigan. Acknowledge, turning right 035. Oh shoot. A little bit below where they want us to be. Climb and maintain 226. Climb and maintain 2600, American 701. Altitude hold. This is going to be a very, very interesting approach because they're instructing me for a visual approach to this runway. I'm not 100% sure. I've never flown in here before, real life, or simulated one. And we got, you know, clouds basically straight in. 12 o'clock, turn right heading 260, report runway in sight. 260, or 060. Turn right 060. Once we get our approach. Knowledge instruction. I'm going to go ahead and report runway in sight. Tower. Options. Alright. There's the runway. Well, this is going to be an interesting landing. Don't say I don't bring you interesting approaches. Just that this aircraft is not anywhere as nimble as a B-1900. Really hate to have to declare a missed approach here. But I think I'm going to. don't need to get so far up in the air. All right. This is where I'm going to say we're going to go ahead and cancel IFR. Ah, that's not what I wanted to do. Cancel IFR. So I'm not being the most talkative here because I've already had one go around. And this is going to take absolute concentration to get this thing on the ground. Alright, we are cleared to land runway 06. Okay. I have visual on the runway lights. Alright, I'm gonna turn on those engines. Level out the wings. Get here. They're on the ground. Full flaps, full brakes. Whew. I guess I should have, does that actually do anything? I guess not. Looks like the hangars and such are over here. Whew. Taxiing to gate Golf 2. we still had fuel. I don't think that this airport was necessarily designed for a DC-6. Huh. There actually is a gate here. I don't see any other airplanes around. We're going to line up a little bit differently than you normally would. Really, they actually have a real aircraft gate. Logging flight. Alright, let's see how badly we did. Log. Earnings 1,000. Oh, wait. But I think did I fly that one for... let's go to banking. I'll tell you very quickly. I flew that one for Figured Airways. Okay. From Figured Airways to me. So all in all, about 9,000. Not too terribly bad for a single flight. I'm gonna go ahead and set my cash to 0, put it all in the bank so we get maximum interest when the ticker rolls over here in a couple of hours. Wow, that was an interesting flight. And the DC-6 is now off my FBO. So we are... Group payment, let's see here, FBO ground. Worldwide Catalina Pacific. Oh, there's an all-in. What's the all-in flying? A 727-100. 6,700. 1,000 nautical miles. one day. I'm going to go ahead and select that flight. My flight should no longer have any aircraft, just the Boeing 727-100. And I believe I have a 727-100. I don't know how great it is. Nautical miles. Very, very interesting. To WSD. Where are we flying? White Sands, New Mexico. Expires in 2 days. On board. Okay. Well, next time we're going to be doing that. I guess we're going to be going in the next couple of days or next couple of flights with a retro theme. Well, thank you very much for watching and see you next time.